Even if you're not a vexillologist, I bet you could draw the Swiss flag from memory. I mean, most people know that it's just a white cross on a red square, right? Then why do we see it as a rectangle so much? I mean, the emoji is a square, but then when the Swiss Olympic team walks into the opening ceremonies, they're carrying a rectangle flag. I've come to beautiful Switzerland to give you a quick but deep dive into everything you need to know about the Swiss flag. And because flights were like super cheap. So back to the issue. Is Switzerland's flag a square? Yes. It is one of only 2 nations in the world where the official flag proportions are 1:1. Can you think of the other one? Let me know in the comments if you can. But that still doesn't answer the question of why we so often see it as a rectangle. Well, for those of us who aren't lucky enough to live in Switzerland, basically the only time we see the Swiss flag is when it's grouped with other flags. And as for the Olympics, in 2004, the International Olympic Committee, which is based here in Switzerland, they decided that all flags within the Olympic Games will be the same rectangular format. Now, it would be a damn shame if we are talking about flags and sports and we don't mention my new favorite sport, Fahnenschwingen. Now, Fahnen, it means flag. Schwingen, let's just say it's a competition to see who can schwingen their flag around the best. It dates back to medieval times, and I, for one, am obsessed. Within Switzerland, you'll see square flags everywhere, but outside, it's kind of a free-for-all. And the Swiss government, in their spirit of ever neutrality, they really don't care. The only exception to this rule is Swiss maritime vessels in international waters. They fly a 2x3 rectangular Swiss flag. And what better place than the Swiss Design Museum to break down this seemingly simple but really beautiful flag design. The Swiss flag is simply a square red field with a charge of a white cross. The official language says, a white, upright, freestanding cross depicted against a red background whose arms, which are all equal in size, are 1/6 longer than they are wide. This means that the Swiss flag is perfectly symmetrical in every way. It's the only national flag that you can't fly wrong. The size and proportion of the cross has been set since 1889, but the size of the cross within the field, that wasn't set in stone until 2017. And in that same 2017 decree, they also defined the color red. They defined it as this, and I'll give you some time. A quick little clarification before we move on to the History Museum. Usually, when I say the word canton, I'm talking about the top left portion of a flag's design. But here in Switzerland, they call their regions or their states cantons. So hopefully that saves you a little bit of confusion in this next part. Switzerland's history is all about its 26 cantons. For centuries, people identified most with their region or their canton. But as loose alliances and confederacies formed during the Middle Ages, this idea of a shared Swiss identity was born. So where this white cross came from is contested between 3 different legends, but the one that I find the most compelling is from the Holy Roman Empire's war flag. The Holy Roman Empire had the power to grant certain countries under its rule permission to use certain symbols during war. The emperor granted the canton of Schwyz, which is just south of here, to use the white cross alongside their original red banner. Schwyz still uses this as their canton flag today. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, wait a second, Schwyz, Switzerland, you're on the right track. Switzerland comes from that root Schwyz. The first known record of the white cross being used to represent various Swiss cantons was a battle in 1339. And in this, it's not always on a red field, but it's placed on top of the existing canton flag. Though if the canton does have red in their flag, it's usually placed on the red part. The current Swiss flag was adopted in 1848, and with it a new modern federal constitution. But a lot of people pushed back. They wanted to keep flying their canton flags. And I don't blame them. I mean, the canton of Bern has this really kick-ass bear. During the 19th to 20th century, there was a lot of industrialization, which led to enormous intermigration within the country. So a lot of people didn't live where their families originated from. This migration kind of accelerated this larger Swiss national identity. Real quick, if this wasn't obvious enough from my shirt, my hat, the channel, I make these videos for my company, Flags for Good. Take a second and think back with me to early pandemic time. I was sitting around my house and I was watching the BLM movement and I just wanted to do something. At that same time, I was sick of buying flags from companies that also sold, like, we'll just call them Flags for Bad. So I started Flags for Good as a company that I would want to buy from. We only make flags that we believe in, and then we donate a portion of each one to a relevant cause for that flag. And some of them you can even choose which organization you want to donate to. You can get 10% off your first flag purchase at flagsforgood.com with the code FFG10. Thanks for listening to that. Back to the video. I could not end this video without showing you what's possibly one of the greatest places in Switzerland, maybe one of the greatest places on Earth. And luckily, I think I've found one of the best ways to show you. I'm gonna strap myself to Anders back here, and we're gonna jump off this mountain. And we're gonna land all the way down there in the middle of Interlaken.
All right. Good, you're ready.
Woohoo!
Here, got a cliff, so we're just gonna keep running until we reach top. Ready? Can we do it? So. Glider's coming up, okay, almost flying. That's not really good. Yeah.
Like any good flag, the real test of a flag's design is how much do people use it. And I can say in my short time here, the Swiss flag is everywhere. It's such a beautifully simple design that so elegantly fits with this gorgeous country. The symmetry and the use of a perfect grid fits seamlessly with what the world perceives about Switzerland. Always on-time trains, famous Swiss watches, knives, secure banks. Their flag is a strong symbol that projects power, but is also welcoming and easy to feel fond of, even if you don't call Switzerland home. Woo! We made it.
Did it. Good job. Super.
Thank you so much.
Perfect takeoff, perfect landing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Copy better.
Thank you so much.
Nice way to wake up.
That was an incredible way to see this country. As much as I would love to stay here longer, or really just spend the rest of my life here, I've got to go just over those mountains to Liechtenstein to film the next video in this series. So if you want to see that, make sure that you subscribe and you click that little bell so you're notified when the video drops. I'm Michael from Flags for Good. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in Liechtenstein. I'm not going to make a habit of starting these videos with a dad joke, but you know what the best part of Switzerland is? Well, the flag is a big plus. No, I can't start the video like that. It's ridiculous. Waiting again, waiting again. Come on, man. Seriously? Stop blowing, or blow the other way. Confederacies were born during the Middle Ages. For centuries, people identified much more with me